Hey everybody, today I'm going to do a Let's See regarding Borderlands 2 VR from Steam. It says that it's not playable. It doesn't say that it's compatible with the Quest 2, but I've not had any problems with it. And so I mean, other than what I'll discuss in this video, but as far as the controls and everything, it definitely plays. So we're going to let this load up here. I'm not as much going to talk about gameplay as I am going to discuss settings that I needed to use and some tips and tricks that I was able to work around a little bit to make it a little bit more accessible for me. As you can see, these were Quest controllers showing up, but you're going to see different controllers. You're going to see different controllers once I'm in the game. Okay, normal stuff here. First thing to make note of is the best movement that, as far as direction that you're going to get, is moving your head. So every time I turn my head, the screen is moving. So you're always going to have, if you have a screen like this in front of you, it's always going to go to where your head is, which will be important later. Okay, so I can't read. I mean, I can see that it says press button, but I didn't really know what button this was. My left hand is my pointer, and you can either trigger it, or I think I actually used an A button, and I can't really read the little writing that comes up that I could on flat screen. As you can see here, I've been playing Krieg. What I want to go through first here is some of the options.
I gotta pee.
Okay, we're going to go to video. And I didn't change too much of this here. I left most everything as it was. I didn't really want to push the resolution or anything like that too high. Because it won't make a difference for me, really. And view distance, I left at the default setting that it came at. Here's what I changed. The colorblind mode, I went with this one. Protopia, I think it's called. I'm trying to remember. It's like the second one from last. So if you go left, because it's automatically off, so if you hit that once and then again, and it doesn't necessarily help with me being able to tell the colors apart so much for me, but it does make some of the menu reading a little easier. Okay, so you navigate just by moving your hand here and using your laser pointer and your trigger to click on things. I did change the brightness a little bit. I had it at 11, but I noticed in here you just kind of highlight the block there and move it left or right, and you can go really bright and you can go really dark. 9 seems about right for me. Tried it at 11, and it's great that it makes it brighter, but it also washes it out if you go too high. And the vibrancy is part of the fun for me. So that's where I went with that. Let's try moving my... Okay. Now, because I moved my head, let's put this back where this was. Sometimes when you move, the menu can either be on a different background because it is slightly opaque, So you might get a better background image to try to read against. And sometimes it actually brings the menu a little closer to you, but not much. And if you try to step towards it, as you can see, one of my most hated things, the menu moves with you. Not sure why some of the, especially the older games, which this is, why they have that feature, because you're pretty much standing in mostly one location, so they don't expect people to move forward or back. But anyway, modify loot beam colors and display item colors. Oh, and the text card. You know, I might want that. What setting was that? A visual effect. Let's see, I'm gonna see if I can change. Yeah. All right. So if you hit the trigger on your right controller, you can change the pointer hand while you're in your menus here. The sound effect that reduces blur. Oh, no, visual effect. That wouldn't be sound. Visual effect that reduces blur and improves detail. A lower multiplier means better performance. You know, I haven't messed with that. Let's see. Let's see if I can change that to 8 and see if that does make anything any better. Sorry, I'm a slow reader because I really have to concentrate on what these letters are, because I can't get any closer to it. I'm going to try to guess the word. Something about bullet decals. I also have astigmatism, so my eyes start to shake after it a little bit. I should tell you I'll probably never use eye tracking. That and a lazy eye, who knows where that visual would go. Lower means better performance. Alright, I'm going to leave that where it is. Foliage. Okay, so that's probably when stuff logs in. So, it starts to appear in the game. So if I end up having issues with performance because I've tried to make the text clearer, I might lower that, because I can't really do distance anyway. So texture quality is low, game detail is low, and to me the game looks good, so I have no reason to change that. Ambient occlusion, I wish all the letters were that big. There's Claptrap. Turn it off for better performance. Alright, I haven't noticed a problem, so I'm going to leave that as it is. Idea what, I don't know what that is. Some kind of effect. Assume visual since we're in video. Visual effect that smooths jagged edges. Turn off for better. Okay, so we're going to leave that off. View distance. Alright, I'm going to leave that where it was, and then we went through the colorblind mode. So to get back to your menu, like I say, I can't really see the symbols that they're using here. They're too dull. But I figured out just by trial and error, that when you hit a grip button, it takes you back. So, grip button. So that's video. Audio, I only turned down these settings so that the music and such would not overplay me. And I left the call-outs on because I like to hear my character once in a while. And mute audio on focus loss. So I think what this means because I watched other YouTubers, I think Cass, said that when you lift your headset or something like that, it mutes the audio. Whether or not to mute game audio when the game focus is something. It's a long word. Minimized, maybe. I'm just going to leave that. That's how it was. I'm just going to leave it how it was. Alright, back to the main menu. Gameplay. Alright, I've turned off the tutorials because I've played Borderlands 2 a lot, so I don't really need the tutorials, and I can't read the boxes that pop up anyway. Weapon aim toggle, left that off. Mini-map. I have turned this off. Okay, it's off by default. Rotation. That's what that is. For a while, I had the minimap off because I can't really use a minimap. But if it does have an indicator on it, I can at least know if I'm moving towards it. So I decided to turn it back on for the moment. I may end up turning it on. I do plan on using Gunzerker for a play, and I'm not sure what this auto switch is. Reverse controls so that the primary fire shoots the oh, it's like a lefty mode. Okay, I don't need that, so that's good. That's a no instead of a off and on. Yeah, it's a no. No. There we go. Square shot vibration, yes please. HUD adjustment, left it on default. This is where you can turn off the minimap if you don't want it. And I do want a HUD because I want to see my my health bar. Wow, there we go. Oh no, I do want to keep the minimap on. All right, scope frame rate. I have this turned up to max. Requires sway. Oh, I don't think that says sway, but I do see quitting to the main menu. So I'm guessing that I will find out on restart. That's fine. I haven't restarted it since I did this, so we'll see what the sway looks like. Show scope window, yes, I want that. You can just use iron sights because the scope is weird. It puts up like a little magnifier window. Now, for me, I'm okay with a magnifier window because I use that sometimes on my phone when I need to magnify a section of the page. So I'm okay with showing the magnifier window because I'm used to seeing one. But if you're not used to seeing one, it may be weird for you. Show crosshairs, yes. All right, going back. Video, audio, controls. Not gonna go through too much of that. Again, I can't really make out what this stuff is saying. And I'm not even sure that it's quite accurate, but I have figured out all the controls, so just by trial and error. So I'm okay there. Movement controls, I am on walk and jump. I'm fine with smooth movement. So anything that's movement to head versus mover, I just use my head because it seems to do the same thing either way, so I just leave it on head, which is the default. Teleport movement, I don't care about teleport movement. I don't have teleport activated. Now, if you wanted teleport activated, that's in your movement controls. So instead of walk and jump, you could have walk and teleport. And there's teleport only. I do walk and jump. Okay, walk speed, fast. There's not a run option in this game, so like you can't sprint like you can in the game. So I put it on fast walking speed. I'm not having any type of motion sickness going on, so I'm okay. But I also haven't driven, so turn mode, not really worried about it. I've got smooth snap, and that's default. That's instant, gradual. I just use smooth because I like smooth movement. The turn angle, I have it set pretty low. That's either 20 or 30. Because if I do accidentally snap turn, I don't want it to be a huge jump from where I was. So fast, if it does happen, I want it to be quick. Smooth turn sensitivity, I didn't mess anything with that. And lefty grip, not on because I'm not a lefty. Alright, going back. Comfort, okay. This is going to be really quick for me. Valve Index controllers is off. I guess you could set them on and it gives you a different look for your controllers. But I'm going with the default because it seems to be, it seems to work fine with my Quest 2 controllers. Tunnel vision off. I don't want any tunnel vision, but this is all for motion sickness style stuff. So if you need to do some stuff for motion sickness, then this is where you go. The first tab in the options. Vehicle tunnel vision, none. I haven't driven yet, so this could change if I get to where I'm driving. I've never driven in a VR game, so I don't know. Melee sensitivity. This is an interesting one. It's at medium. And if I understood what I could make out correctly, that your swing speed can determine how heavy your hit is. I just left it at where it was. Player... Oh, height. Player height. Okay. I haven't done anything. I don't want to float, so I'm good with the player height. I left it at the default. Gun pitch. Okay. This I have tried changing. Change the gun angle. I think I want to... here. I think I changed the pitch, so I'm trying to put it back down. I want to see if it made any difference. Okay, there we go. So that's everything. Comfort. The comfort is the one I might come back to test about, if I need to change anything with driving and that kind of stuff. Okay, so I hit the grip button once, and I get back to this menu, hit the grip button again, and I am back to the main menu. So there's, just in case you need the help knowing, continue is at the top, below continue is new game, options is the third thing down, Then there's extras, which is like shift codes and such, which I am putting in. Downloadable content, the DLC is free. And then there's quit. This is where you save and quit the game. And then select character. So if I had another character or I wanted to create a character, this shaded Pac-Man style dot is saying that on your left controller, or at least for me that's the one I'm using, left controller, move it to the right and then press down. There you go. And if I had more than one character, then it would show up here and then you select it. Or you can create a new character, I assume, with one of these guys. So thankfully, let's see what happens if I click on 0. There you go. So if you need to, you can see which character you're choosing before you actually commit to it. So here I'm just going to go over on my left controller again and press down. I haven't made that new character, but just so you know, this is the Commando, which is Axton, Zero the Assassin, Maya the Siren, Salvador the Gunzerker, Gaige the Necromancer, and Krieg the Psycho. And I'm currently playing Krieg the Psycho. And I know their names. I love Borderlands. It's one of my favorites. Alright, so we're going to go back, because I'm not making any new selection here. Downloadable content. I guess I'll let you know. I'm playing this on... Oh, yeah, I don't want 0. I'm going to have to go back again and choose my character. There we go. Click on my character. Now I got Krieg back. Downloadable content includes all the DLC. Headhunters packs, Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep, the Torg, the Scarlet. I mean, it's all there, and it's free with the game. If you get the game on sale, even better. But I was really excited to know. And so I'm playing on Steam, and I am playing through Plutosphere. So it's costing me a bit to make these games, but I love this game so much. And if ever I get a PC that can do Steam VR and I can use my virtual desktop for it and have it run well, then I'll do that. Then I won't have to pay for the time that I spend in Plutosphere. But this is where we're at now. Plutosphere using Steam. Didn't have to, I mean, you do need SideQuest in order to get the Plutosphere app from SideQuest onto your headset, but I didn't need to connect anything else to get to Steam. I only had to use Plutosphere to get to my Steam. And if I do go to a different option to get to cloud gaming, which is basically kind of what this is like, then as long as I'm using Steam, I still have my game. So there's that. Okay, new game is not going to be what I choose. I am going to choose continue so that I can show you some of the menus in the game. And you can see what it looks like. Okay. So you change guns by pushing forward on your right thumbstick. So push it up like you're going forward, and then press down, and it changes your gun. So not using Y. Scoping is your left trigger. I don't know if this gun will actually show it. Let me get closer to my indicator. Let's see if it gets any smaller. Let's go. Yeah, can you see how it moves? So it got tighter. That's scoping. And just like in the regular game, you don't move as fast if you scope while you're moving. Whereas, no, not scoped, scoped. That's what that is. To get to your options menu from inside the game, you press the... You know, I always think of it in terms of A and Y. A being the bottom round button and the Y being the top round button. Basically Y on the left-hand controller, the top round button. That'll take you to the screen where you can get to the options menu, and then just hit your grip button to go back. This next one took me a little while to figure out what it was I had done. If you hold down, press and hold that Y button, then you come up with your map, your quest. Well, this is your quest area. There's your map. There's your inventory. There's your skills and your badass ranks. I haven't used any badass ranks yet. Okay, so first, this is really hard for me to read, and I don't know that moving is gonna help. Nope. But the quest givers do kind of tell you what's expected of you when you take the quest, as long as you only take one quest at a time. And there's quest marker indicators on the map as well, so that helps. These colors tell you, just like in the regular game, you know, is something difficult or not. But I'm beginning to think maybe not. Maybe that's what's down here. There usually is a color indicator to say whether or not how hard something will be for your level, to kind of give you an indication. Yeah, I can't get this any closer. Usually the difficulty is down in this area, and I think that's green or blue, which is going to be normal. If it's red, it's going to be hard, red or orange, for your level. So I'm at normal. So that's that. The map. Oh, what quest do I have marked? Whatever quest you've got highlighted is going to be the one that shows up on your map with an indicator. Okay, so here's the indication of where your quest is. The blinking thing is you. So if nothing else, you know you need to go kind of northwest. There is a zoom function. Let's see. That looks like Pac-Man down and press. Nope. Let's try the left controller. Nope. Okay, I can move it. Oh, okay, Pac-Man up. Okay, so you can make your map bigger by just like you're going to change a weapon, except you are in map mode, so it allows you to make your map bigger in map mode. Now, I do believe that resets. Yeah, you'll have to do it every time. But, you know, you do what you got to do. Oh, and if you press down on your cursor, that makes it smaller. Okay, customized objectives, that's left or right on your cursor. And this legend, which I can't read. Let me see if it gets bigger when I make the map bigger. No, it doesn't. Okay, so pressing right and down on your right thumbstick, that does that. Okay, so most important bit for me is that up, like swapping weapons, is how you make your map bigger. And pressing down makes it smaller. And then custom indicators is left. Gonna never need the right one, I don't think. Okay, so this is probably the hardest part for visual, other than not being able to read your quests. Because I played the game before, actually this isn't the hardest part, it's probably skills. I kind of know what I'm looking for, so I'm looking for sizes of the numbers, and if I can make out an 8 or a 9, but there are green arrows that appear next to these weapons, and that's what I'll be looking for as whether or not I can have an upgrade. So I'm on this pistol right now that does fire damage. I'm going to go to this arrow, and look at this gun. Now, I can see the arrows, so this weapon does more damage. Move over. Can't quite. Okay, so yeah. I mean, swapping back and forth, I can start to distinguish some of the numbers. Can't quite read what this is, but it's a shotgun. That's why it's longer. So I just pretty much just have to concentrate long enough to be able to tell, how many pellets does it have. But I also kind of know what guns I like. I like Jacobs shotguns. I like TDR weapons. And TDR is block style print. And so I know that that is TDR. And given the length of the shadow that I can make out, I'm going to assume that's a Jacobs. Okay, so there are people who know these guns inside and out and could probably just tell you on sight of the gun. I'm not one of those people. I also can't really read my ammo capacity. And again, because it's not static, I can't exactly get closer to it. But I make do because I played with the game, so I'm okay there. Next tab.
This hurts
skills.
my brain.
This is the reason that I changed the colorblind mode, because it's not much better, but it's a little better, and I have a chance at being able to read these. What I'm going to end up doing is going online and looking up the skill trees, and like there, thank God, the BAMF is big enough for me to be able to see that that's what it says. I know that this skill is different than the one that is in the flat screen version of the game. And I'm sure that there are some other changes. So before I do any leveling up beyond this one, because I have one skill point, because I just turned level 5, because I wanted to test the scope, I know that that's the only thing I can take, and so I'm good there. And I've watched some videos. I don't see me ever throwing my axe. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to be doing Salvador probably with another playthrough. But, so like, the writing is just a little bit better. But I'm going to end up having to go online and seeing what the skill trees are before I actually do my level ups. Or I'll be respecking one or the other. Because this is a true challenge to read, because there's just no way to make it more clear, unfortunately. This is just, yep, no closer there. Try to pick out the important parts. But what I'll end up doing is going online, looking at the skill trees, or what I may end up doing is taking screenshots if there's something really vital I need to see. But I can't screenshot everything at once, which is why I'm saying it's going to be better for me to go on my phone and look them up. Okay, badass ranks. I know what they are. All right, and these are your challenges that you do in order to get badass ranks. So basically, when you spend these, you can add bonuses to what you're getting. So I'll do one. Fire rate. Again, I'm familiar with the game enough to know what these are. Once I take one, I don't know if I'm going to be able to read the percentage that you get, but whatever. But once you take these, they apply to all your characters. No matter how many you make, all your characters contribute to badass points. this is not my first character, and so that's why I have so many badass ranks at level 5, because I've done a lot of challenges, and they go across all the characters, so you get badass ranks across them all. And when you spend gun damage on Krieg, you're going to get that same gun damage for Axton, per se, as an example. So I'm not going to take that right now. Trying to see how I do just in the regular form of the game, because on my flat screen version I have a lot of badass ranks, and I think it kind of takes away the challenge. But if I find myself just struggling too much, I'm going to use them. There's no multiplayer here, so it's not like I'm affecting anybody else's ability to get kills. Here you just basically need to look for length of the number. And hopefully when the legendaries come, they'll be easier to read. We'll see. But blue on blue or green on blue or whatever that is, the arrows are just much easier to distinguish. So I can see red is bad and green is good for that kind of thing. Now, the last thing, when you want to change a weapon, like I just did, you click. Don't use the X. Well, the X is like marking it as trash. The star is like, don't accidentally sell it. I haven't marked anything yet because these are all low level. But if you click the picture and you see the little image of the gun on the end of my pointer, so this is like your compare thing too. But it's going to drop it into the spot that you're highlighting if it's an available slot. You can't put it in slots where it doesn't highlight up. I'm going to put that here. No, I still have my sniper out. I don't want the sniper out. Okay. That's my burn damage gun, so I want that there. This is a machine gun. Oh, those are okay. Machine gun or shotgun? Oh, well, anyway. What I do want to show you though, the reason I got this character to level 5 was so that I could, alright, grip button, get out of that, and press up on the stick and change weapons. I want to show the scope. So it's going to magnify quite a bit. Alright, so left trigger makes the scope, and I'm sure you can see the crosshair up there. And this is where I was trying to offset my reticle. Okay. Let's look off in the distance here at these rocks. Alright, setting that to 120. Sway's not too bad. The longer you hold it, the worse your sway is if you're not a spec character for guns. Okay, and I can see where my aiming is. Let's move here and see if I can spot anything that I can actually shoot and tell that I have shot it. Let's move. Jump is pressing down on the left stick. Don't think I can jump that high. Is there anything else that... I don't want to go quite down far enough to... Like I said, there's no run anymore, so not on VR. I'll also see if I experience any glitches with... Alright, also, hitting those things, or you can shoot those things, or you can use your laser pointer to pick them up. Just a quick tap. It's going to blink your scope if you have a scoped weapon up. Okay, let's get down on the ground here. Gonna kneel. Can I using... let's put this up against my chest and see. I usually like using scopes, but this character is not a scoped user, so it's probably not the best. Okay, now I gotta get up off the floor. Okay. Don't laugh. It's not so easy when you're over 50. Okay. Whoops. Shot something. Okay. To reload, I just learned this today. You press down, just straight down on your thumbstick, on your right thumbstick. Which is also your snap turning. So, there's that. Okay. Example, point your laser pointer, click the item. There you go. Okay, so that's the scope. And it remains to be seen whether or not it's going to be something that is actually viable for use. It's one of the complaints that people have with the game. Now that we're closer. Alright, there's a guy. I don't think I have a hold breath option. Oop. Hey, he saw me. Haven't figured out yet how to throw a grenade.
Greetings! Do you feel you have too many bullets but not enough money?
Okay. Do have to be a certain distance to combat stuff. Alright. Vending machines.
A fantastic day for capitalism.
Again, if you turn, especially if somebody's blocking it,
May it help you kill many things.
Point and pull the trigger.
Caveat emptor.
Purchase. Don't need that. Grip button.
Remember,
Close.
we're always open.
There we go. And of course, this won't have any. It's broken. But other bulletin boards will have information. Okay, that's about it. Playable? Yes, especially if you already know the controls from having played it flat screen. Definitely playable. You just might have to do some trial and error. And learn the controls. And be willing to... I actually turn around in my play space. I have a mat underneath me, so I can keep my bearings. Okay. There's all the DLC stuff. Grip button, close. And that's it. Thanks a bunch. Have fun. Oh, I forgot. Grip button slows down time. That's what that effect was. Stop recording.